Welcome back. It's time for hour 2 of Blades on this fine Sunday morning afternoon. It might turn out not to be, though. Let's find out what happens as we are back, and YouTubers a day later like, finally, I've been waiting forever for this. So before we do get started, I think there was like a 15-minute speech that was going to... No, I'm just kidding. Let's go.
Careless Firm is trying to rush past this hull, who is positioning itself to cut him off and keep him away from the Spirit Warden. So we will see. Jeff, are you using finesse, or are you skirmishing? What's your action here?
I guess I'll skirmish then. I mean, I have a 4 in finesse and skirmish, but I'll attempt to do some damage to it on my way out, I suppose.
Yes, you may attempt to do so.
Is it desperate?
To get past it, no. To get past it, it's risky. Yep. Now, it's risky. Risky, and
well, I'll push myself. I'm gonna Hulk out rather. I'm gonna use my ability, so that's 1 stress.
Oh, you're okay. So yeah. So I should also tell you, it's risky. It's 0 effect by default. But you're using not to be trifled with, which is 2 stress.
Oh, 2 stress.
That will give you increased effect, or increased scale, effectively, against the hull. And you can decide if you want to. So right now, when you Hulk out, it's going to be risky limited, and you can take a bonus die, or you can do standard damage to the hull as you pass.
Standard, yeah.
So no bonus die, but risky standard then.
Yep.
Good. And I think standard damage to the hull. Well, I'll just keep track of it here. So okay, cool.
6.
Oh shit!
Damn.
Nice.
Quality.
The day where I roll 4 6s.
The risk does not come to pass. As you go to move, it's not super slow. It's heavy and clunky and mechanical, but it has this really smooth like side step that it's like, and all of a sudden it's right in front of you. But you're skirmishing with your blade, I presume.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a fine blade. Does that matter at all for this?
It normally would, but the Spirit Warden's tech is like way higher than your tier, so
cool.
They kind of outclass you.
But after John, when I kill all of them with my sword and then take their gear, do we get to then be at their level, or
it's not quite that simple? But you can, yes, you may be able to use some of their stuff.
Highlander was the better game. Okay,
that's right. So you're able to do standard damage. I want to make a note here for the hull. Yeah, and what that looks like to everyone else as you're presumably coming outside. I think you go for the thing that you said, Jeff, like the wires towards the back that go down from the head into the armor. As you pass by your sword, you're able to flick out and sever one of those, and it sparks, and one of the eye lights like flickers and goes off, and its arm that it was sliding over to intercept you, the arm that's coming into your path, just suddenly hangs limp at its side, and you have this opportunity to step into the empty space towards the Spirit Warden. The rest of you, Aldo, I think, is coming outside first, seems. And you guys can move your tokens, I think, if you want to. But as you're coming out, Aldo, you see the thing. Its arm goes limp, its eye flickers and goes dark, and its head turns 180 degrees around as Careless passes it. It's like spins around and keeps its eyes on him, and it looks like it's about to turn around and like pinch her in against Careless and the Spirit Warden. What do you want to do, Aldo, or whoever is going first?
Now I'm wondering if I can do a study roll on this hull to see if there's a weak spot or a place that I should be concentrating on or whatever.
Definitely. You may do that. And I think is risky.
Okay.
The risk being a lost opportunity here.
Okay.
And what's your background is academic, isn't it?
Background is street urchin.
Oh yeah, that's right. For some reason, I thought you actually had academic, but no. Okay. So
But
yeah,
I think that maybe since we have, and I would, the only reason why I remember this because I was looking over like crew upgrades and stuff, but we have like quality. Did you say now documents? That just means like political stuff, right? That doesn't mean like.
documents covers books and schematics and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that like would affect this.
Yeah. That's where I was going with that. Like, I think you're not completely out of your league here. You're not just like, I don't know what these things are.
Right.
Aldo does know what a hull is, and you have some idea of how it works. So,
Okay.
Yeah, risky standard.
Okay.
Study roll.
Hey.
Ooh, nice.
Hey.
Well
Nice.
done.
So,
2 dice.
I know.
Wow.
So it does not cost you your opportunity. Like, you're not just standing there doing this while everyone else is acting. Like, you take a quick look at it and you see as its head turns around, it has a high metal collar on its breastplate here, but it's exposed from certain angles that Careless cut in through here to get at one of its wires. It's a very finessey, fine kind of thing to hit. But that would be another place to attack where it's already damaged, where Careless damaged it would be good if you can get in there. But also, you have some idea anyway, that a hull's sensorium is not in its head, it's in its chest.
Okay.
It's this magical technological magical thing that makes the hull operate and gives it senses and motivation to follow commands and that sort of stuff. And there's a way for technicians to access the sensorium. It's in it through the back. There's a plate that you unscrew and take off, and you can get in there and do stuff to the sensorium. So if you could pry that off, maybe, or bash the plate in towards the sensorium or something like that, like you know where to attack it to get at its motivator.
It's got a bad motivator. I saw it.
Motivator, yeah. Put the on it.
Let's see. I'm just trying to think of like because I'm wondering if I let just as strategically let the hull turn and face Careless as he's walking by. If he'll turn his back to me, if I just don't draw attention to myself, so I can get to that plate easier.
Yeah, you do feel like if you wait a beat, it will turn and the hull and the spirit worm will do like a combined attack on Careless together, and that'll give you a chance to it'll turn around. It's in the process of turning around.
Okay, perfect. That's I'll wait for the fucking last split second moment so I can get to this thing and shut this guy down. Get to the plate on the back.
You want to try to time it so before it does the combined attack on Careless, just as it's finished turning, you're going to get there at just the right moment.
Yeah.
With that, so it doesn't see you and it doesn't contribute to the group attack.
Yep.
That is a fancy move. Although I like it. I like
it too. And none of this would be happening. We could have got away scot-free, mind you, Jeff, if you would have just, left.
Well, the three of you right now.
Those gosh darn vices and issues that I have. Damn you role-playing your character, Jeff, you son of a bitch.
Worst.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying like that's why I'm waiting for the most strategic moment.
Yeah.
To help you out.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah, and just to be clear, I know this isn't a factor, but like because Careless took out the thugs, you guys, the three of you, do still have the opportunity to run away right now. I know you're not going to, but just
run away.
Clear in the fiction.
Silly John.
Yeah, I know.
So
I'm just saying. It's important because we're seeing how loyal you are.
No, I want that dude's mask. Are you joking?
Yeah, hell yeah. So
well, I before I walk out the door, I look back at Rune and Miss Cataby, and I just kind of crack my knuckles and I go, "Well, sounds like they're singing our song. Time to dance."
Nice.
As he walks away, I look at Cataby and I'm just like, I hate dancing.
Nice. So Aldo, this is well, you tell me what action you're using here, and I'll tell you your position and your effect. It's tricky. This is a really tricky bit of timing, and so which action would you like to use?
I'm wondering now. Let me just. Because this takes a little bit of this isn't just me smashing the shit out of something. This is me like waiting and timing something out.
Exactly.
So let me hold on a second here.
I don't think you are currently wrecking it. I think you're
Right.
setting up to do that.
Right. Let me see here. 1 second here. Just want to make sure I'm not out of my head here. There we go. Yep. Hunt.
Ah, okay.
Hunt says you might blah blah, description. It says you might arrange an ambush.
Yeah, Hunt
So
makes a lot of
that's
sense.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're lying in wait and you're springing a trap on it, more or less.
Yeah.
It's about
What are
timing
the
it.
dice?
So yeah, your position is risky,
Okay.
and your effect is standard,
Okay.
and you're going to hunt. A lot of things against these guys will have 0 effect by default, but this is not one of them. It's actually vulnerable to you doing this, so it's risky standard.
Okay.
4.
4. Okay. Partial. So the risk comes to pass, and that is you don't, your timing is just a little off. So you're able to, you get in its blind point, it's not looking at you, and right as Aldo comes rushing up, maybe you're kind of like using one of the buildings as cover a little bit, and then dashing the last few feet towards it. It doesn't see you.
Okay.
You get into a position right behind it, and it's not aware of you, but you're a little behind, and it actually does get to fight with the Spirit Warden in this moment, but it doesn't know you're there. You've got the position you want. Unless someone else wants to do something real speedy, and maybe Miss Cataby and Rune, you guys both can do stuff at distance, so maybe you could. Otherwise, Careless is about to engage in this 2-on-1 situation.
Thank you.
Yep.
And do you have anything in particular?
Yeah. I'm confused, I guess, about how I can affect these without like physical force, because most of my stuff surrounds or is dealing with like ghosts and magic.
Yeah.
Which like these guys are specifically like that's what they fight all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm not even really sure how effective any of my attacks will really be. Because what I'd like to do, or what my thought was to use the spirit of the vengeful ghost that Flint was controlling and compel it to fight for me. But I don't know how that works with spirit wardens or hulls.
No, yeah. I mean, you have some idea that they are very well equipped and trained to deal with ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think you could expect that if you did compel the ghost and attacked them with it, it would at least be distracting. They wouldn't be able to ignore it and just fight Careless. Like they would have to deal with it at the same time. So.
Okay, follow-up question. How susceptible are they to, say, electrical storms?
I mean, they do run on electroplasm and are charged by electricity, but
like an overload to the circuit.
Yeah, things.
It's like a power surge.
Maybe. Yeah.
All right, cool.
I don't think Rune knows, so I can't answer straight. But I think like looking at it, it's some sort of mechanical robot. You've heard of hulls before.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to overload it. That's not a totally dumb thing to think in the setting. Like you don't know for sure that it'll work, but it's not a completely silly idea.
All right, let's roast him.
You wanna do some lightning?
Yeah.
Okay, I think lightning will have the chance to happen before Careless gets attacked. Lightning is very quick, so.
Okay.
Uh,
So that's
with
2 stress.
Hitting shots, perhaps.
you're gonna step outside, I assume, and call it down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Unlimited power.
So you're attacking the hull with lightning. It is risky.
Mm-hmm.
And standard effect. And instead of 0. Because it's lightning and it's potent and it's energy. So yeah, risky standard.
Make it a good shot, please.
I believe in this roll. It's going to be great.
Here we go.
I believe.
Mini crit 5.
The mini crit. Yeah. So the risk, you do it. You hit it and you do damage. However, the risk comes to pass, which is pretty much always with Tempest. It's unintended collateral damage, right? You come out and the clouds come overhead.
The horses get struck by lightning. So weird. That sucks.
Everything in the immediate vicinity gets hit, including Aldo and Careless.
But it was a 5. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Also, you didn't tell me what the risk was beforehand, by the way.
I know I didn't.
Yeah. You told everyone else what the risk was beforehand. Why not me?
It's a learning process. Now you may resist that. You can resist consequences. You're a whisper. You can be like,
I would
no,
love to resist.
I'm gonna channel my lightning properly. I'm not going to let it go out of control.
Okay.
So that is a thing you can do. You can roll your resolve as a resistance
and
roll.
hit a 6 because I'm so good at resolve.
That's your best thing.
I know. I always fuck up and then I resist it, and that's perfect.
So yeah. So that does not happen. It's in danger of happening. Careless, your hair stands on end, and although you feel this horrible electrical tingle happening all around you, and this lightning bolt cracks as soon as you slide up behind it, Aldo, and its fist is whipping at Careless's head. This lightning bolt just out of nowhere hits the hull.
Yeah, before the lightning hits, you just hear Aldo under his breath, he feels it coming. He just goes, "Oh fuck me."
Then after the lightning strikes the hull, you just hear from far away, Rune is down in front.
Yeah, so we see this lightning go through, ground out through its feet. Its right foot snaps and pops and is all charred black where the lightning goes to ground, and we see one of the plates buckles and snaps sideways onto the ground, and some of its exposed wires and actuators sizzle and pop. Its knee kind of buckles where it's standing. It's damaged, you can tell. One of its eyes is out. One of its arms is swinging free. It can still move it, but it can't really articulate. And now one of its legs is kind of damaged from the lightning. It's not destroyed, but it's in a bad way. I think now in this time, maybe before Miss Cataby shoots, I don't know, Marcus. What are you doing? Are you?
Well, I was also gonna ask about cover, right? I see there's an alley between these two buildings.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe it would make sense just to use this to get into a position to support them.
You want to slide up here so you're in the alleyway?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, you can do that. Basically, Aldo runs out, Rune steps out, you run into the alleyway, and all that stuff goes down at the same time. So yeah, you don't need to roll for that. Aldo fortunately hit his roll perfectly, so the hull is not noticing you guys right yet. Its back is to you. Okay, Jeff. So this damaged hull, the lightning cracks. You and Aldo, I think, you don't need to resist or anything. Because you've worked with Rune enough and the lightning enough now, you're not just what the fuck? It doesn't cause you to panic or anything. The Spirit Warden, I'm actually gonna give him a roll. This is the realism side of Blaze coming in occasionally. It's one thing to be a badass trained Spirit Warden, and it's another thing to just suddenly have a lightning bolt crack out of nowhere onto your hull. Maybe he can just be whatever, I'm cool. But maybe he will hesitate.
Because lightning has that effect, but a guy downing 6 people catatonically.
Yeah, that's
Gant gave him pause, but
That would be.
lightning? Fuck me. No.
that's what I'm saying. He's used to the magical necromancy shit. He's not used to suddenly having lightning strike right in front of him.
Way to make a guy feel like a plebeian, John.
He took out 6 people.
Everyone's downing people, but lightning.
Spirit Warden training. They're tier 4. I'm going to give him 4 dice of training.
That's a pretty bad roll.
That is only a partial.
It's a little
All right.
scared.
Careless, it's your lucky day.
Yeah. It is.
So both of them are fighting you, but they're not coordinated. The Spirit Warden is stepping forward, perfectly timed for the hull to crack you on the back of the head as he stabs you up through the throat. Their perfect timing breaks as the hull like gets lightning struck, and the Spirit Warden actually kind of steps backwards, like whoa. So it's a fair. This action right here is a fair fight between the 3 of you. I assume you're skirmishing them, Careless.
Yes.
Yes. Who are you focusing your harm against? The Spirit Warden.
Spirit Warden.
Okay. So it is risky and 0 effect.
Well, I pushed myself for the fight, right? Doesn't it?
Yep. You wanna increase your effect with that?
Oh, is it just
Yeah,
once per action?
You already said that. My bad. The bonus is once per action, but if you increase your effect with not to be trifled with, it counts. It applies to the fight. So yeah, sorry, I forgot.
That's okay.
So it's risky, limited.
Limited.
Yeah.
Not okay. So no bonus dice, I guess.
You can if you want.
Oh,
Never mind. Okay.
nailed it.
Nice. Let me try my Spirit Warden. Yeah, so they try to pinch you in. They've done this many times and are well trained. But as he hesitates, Careless, what do? You actually get a cut on him.
It's all happening so fast, but I think he, after swiping the hole, moves into what he thinks is a duel. But obviously, this robot's like looming over the top of him, then gets hit by lightning. So it just becomes like a duel. Like if this guy is he using his blade to fight me, I suppose.
Yeah, he has his blade. He has his pistol in his offhand, but he's actually trying to get you with the sword.
Then we just kind of go back and forth a little bit, but I get the first hit on his forearm or whatever, his bicep.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, you cut through his heavy Spirit Warden coat, and he parries off the follow up to kill him. And you guys are locked in combat there. You hear the hull like start to its gears grinding to take a step and follow in the combat.
Careless just has all the faith in the world in his team, so his back is just completely a robot. He's hoping that they're not going to do something like time something down to a millisecond and rely on dice for an delivery.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Could happen.
Or strike lightning like a foot away.
No,
We got this. Don't worry.
if Aldo acts next,
Professionals.
if Aldo acts next, I think that I am just going to think better of it and not get involved with this skirmish, and I'm going to walk away.
He's going to start a life in the hills and
Yeah.
raise up some puppies.
I'm just going to turn these swords into plowshares, my friend.
I can read books for the rest.
We do a split show where we're like, all right, and what's Aldo doing? He's like, well, it's another great book. He just crackling.
Roll to enjoy your novel.
He's got a stew going.
You put out a book of poetry with a modicum of success.
Yeah, Zeke, I think you're kind of next, but I think Miss Cataby probably actually gets to go next because she's in position with her guns.
Oh, great! Yet another thing I'm in the line of fire of.
You are.
Don't worry, you've never been shot before. You'll be fine.
Marcus,
Yeah.
from your cover position here.
Yeah, I mean, like, is there any one shot that will have lesser risk of hitting one of my teammates than another, based off of like what is currently going down in the fight right now?
I think If you want to activate sharpshooter, that will just be taken off the table completely.
Okay.
Because you're a sharpshooter and you won't hit your teammates.
So basically, like, pay the stress and that will ensure that I will not hit either.
For the whole fight, you can just fire into the melee safely because that's a special ability that you have.
Okay. I will do that.
Okay.
That's 2 stress, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And on these shots, you can take a bonus die or increased effect. That's up to you.
Okay. Let me go ahead and fire at the already damaged bot.
Okay. So that is... Oh, yeah, that's right. So we talked about this in the post-show, I think. There's a thing in the world called electroplasmic ammo. And it's a thing that people who use guns often and deal with ghosts often bring with them on their escapades. It's less effective against humans, but it's way more effective against electrical things and ghosts and that sort of stuff. And it's an aspect of the setting that we haven't really talked about, even though you've kind of been moving Miss Cataby into this shooter mode for the last few episodes. So it's not a thing that you have by default. The Hound character type has easy access to electroplasmic ammo, but it is the kind of thing you can have with a flashback. Flashbacks are good in Blades for like saying, actually, I did prepare for this kind of thing.
Yeah. In this case, just so that I know, I would do like very limited damage otherwise.
Yes, by just using regular guns against the hull, you will do 0 effect with your pistols.
Okay. Yes. That is exactly right, John.
You want a flashback?
Yes, and you are right. In a post show, just so that this doesn't feel like it's coming out of nowhere, and John is literally handing a gimme out. I actually specifically asked about, thinking about how, because we've run into a lot of scenarios, a lot of fights in which there's been a ghost involved or a demon, and I was like, hey. I other than artifacts, I don't necessarily have any special powers. John likes, that is why there is like ammunition for exactly that kind of thing. So I've definitely been thinking and asking about this for a while. So maybe I would it would be something I would ask Salia for.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah. That is totally the thing you would normally ask her about. And now there's like an extra tinge to that because now she's a ghost, and you're like, "Hey, you got any of that ghost killing?"
Yeah, or where can I get it? Right?
She's like, actually, I do know where you can get it, and I'm very interested in people who's traded that kind of thing for some reason."
So electroplasm would work on ghosts and holes like this, like this.
Yes, as long as you're able to attack them in some way that would make sense. Like if you're just shooting their armor plates or something, then it wouldn't particularly do more. With sharpshooter, Miss Cataby can land some good shots with this. So let's do. Give me a acquire asset roll, Marcus, which is your tier. So just roll 1d6. And this is the flashback. So Salia is like, we're gonna see how like where she points you. She's like, yes. I do know some vendors in that sort of thing.
Does connected affect this, or is that not only because it was a downtime? It does.
It does affect it.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Oh shit!
Wow, nice work.
Well, connected makes that a crit.
Yeah.
So it's good to be the spider. So let's say this is a 1 stress flashback, right? This is the kind of thing that you basically have easy access to, but it's an unusual thing to get a hold of. So I'm just going to charge you 1 stress for that.
Okay.
And you have, let's see, that is a crit. Yeah, we're going to say that you have like very good, fine, in fact, electroplasmic ammunition, which will give you potency against the hull. So maybe like in the flashback, Salia, she smiles and she says, "For you, Miss Cataby, let me show you my personal stock." And she takes you into this back room, and like she has this stash of. It's clear that there's like the spoils of killed spirit wardens, perhaps. Cracked spirit warden mask in 2 pieces, and it's like this velvet lined drawer. There's a bloody spirit warden coat and some other like spoils of battle. And she opens this little case with glowing blue shells inside it and passes it over. So back in the present, clack clack, your guns are loaded with the glowing electroplasmic blue ammunition, and you can open up on this thing with a hunch roll.
Sweet.
Like to.
That's what I'm gonna do.
So right now it is controlled. It is, instead of 0, it's standard effect, and you can take, you can do great effect, or you can take a bonus die because of your sharpshooter.
Okay, I'm gonna take great effect on this first one.
Right, shit. Controlled and great effect on this hull. Holy shit. That turned around from risky and 0.
Oh my god!
Whoa, no! Oh god, I'm dead.
No, you aren't.
I know.
I don't know. Actually, I mean, this
Sharpshooter.
Can
Can't miss.
sharpshooter be negated?
Yes, you're not gonna hit Zeke, and because it's controlled, you have a choice. You can press on and seize a risky opportunity, or withdraw and try a different approach. So you can be like, shit, I don't have the shot on roll. You basically get a risky reroll because you were controlled. So I think what happens is, because of your sharpshooter, you realize that Aldo is in the way, and you are in danger of hitting him. Because you're such an accurate shooter, you don't pull the trigger, right? You're like, okay, well, yeah. But
Okay.
to push to a risky roll, you're going to have to change position. You're going to have to move out from your cover and
Use the force, Marcus.
be exposed.
Okay, so I'm basically like either like whoopsie or like
This won't work.
yeah, take another shot, but I'd have to get into a position.
Yeah, you have to move out into the street, or move out so you're exposed to the hull. Essentially, like it'll become aware of you.
Okay, I'm just gonna stay my ground.
Okay, you decide not to take the shot.
Yes.
All right. You wait for another opportunity when Aldo is in the way, presumably. Okay, so we see you line it up. You've got the perfect thing. The electroplasmic bullet glows inside the chamber, and then the back of Aldo's head like snaps in front of your sights, and he's like, doing his move. And you're like, shit. What are you doing, Zeke?
I'm going to attempt to like tear the plate off the back of this guy,
All right.
so I can get to the guts, so to speak.
So let's see. You are still injured, I believe.
I have a shotgun blast, but I took tough as nails, so I'm ignoring it since it's level 1.
Yeah, then it doesn't count. I mean, it does, but it doesn't affect you. Nice.
Yeah, it's still there, but it's kind of like Predator, you know.
Yeah.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Very Aldo-esque.
So this is a risky. You're wrecking it, I assume. Risky wreck roll.
If that's what you think is correct.
Yeah, you basically bought the opportunity. It's not fighting you yet. I think that's what the risk is here. Like, is it gonna turn into a fight or not? Are you gonna just keep the initiative?
Right.
And you have access as a cutter. Go and check your load. I think you have what is needed to do this. Actually,
I honestly just started picturing like a set of like eyeglasses tools. I'm like,
you're just unscrewing it instead of wrecking it. I mean, that is a thing you could try. I think that would count as desperate, but you could make study roll instead of wreck if you wanted.
No, I'm gonna.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tick your demolition tools on your load here.
Okay.
You have your demolition tools with you, which includes like a crowbar and a heavy hammer and shit like that, so you can like pry this thing off. and make a risky rec roll with. Yeah, your effect level is 0 currently. So you can do a desperate limited maneuver, or you can Hulk out if you want to.
Desperate. Push myself for standard.
Okay.
Because that's what Not to Be Trifled With does. It increases the.
Yep.
Okay. So I'll do that.
Okay.
Take 2 stress to get standard effect. So desperate, standard.
Mm-hmm.
No bonus dice.
Right.
All right, here we go.
5.
All right. It was risky. The risk was, originally it was risky, and the risk was, is this going to be a fight? You pushed it to desperate, I think, and the way that looks on screen is, instead of just doing it real quick, trying to like snap the crowbar in and pry it off in one motion, you take the time to get the crowbar in, and you see its head like start to turn around towards you, and you jam the crowbar in like past the bend on the crow's beak of the crowbar, to really get it wedged in there real good, and then lean back with all your might instead of doing it real quick. To get more effect. So let me mark the hole's damage here. Ooh, it's not doing super good. So you're actually going to succeed. You're going to pry this cover off the sensorium, but it takes a shot at you, right? Like its head goes and whips back around, so it's facing the back, and the arm that Careless sort of disabled, the one that's swinging like a pendulum, it snaps it like a flail, kind of. It's like, and the fist comes down towards the top of your head, to just crack Aldo in the skull and smash you into the ground.
Yeah. So like you see his head turn around, and it goes like, I like crank it, tang. Hello, beautiful.
Poor Aldo. At least not fatal, right, John? You're not gonna slow roll that one on us.
I think you'd have to roll for that.
Yeah, no, it's desperate harm, so it's level 3 by default, and it would be fatal, but Aldo increased his scale for Not to Be Trifled With to tangle with the hull on equal footing, so it's just level 3 harm.
It's just level 3.
Would you like to resist?
Only level 3.
Yeah,
I think you're dating a doctor, so.
All right.
Chad is asking about scale and Not to Be Trifled With and pushing yourself and all these things. Essentially, Aldo, because of Not to Be Trifled With, he makes himself as like big and tough as the hull in this moment, which lets him compete equally with it. And then pushing himself gives him that bonus effect on top of that, and also protects him from fatal harm here. So you can take level 3 harm, or you can resist.
I'll just take no. I'll resist.
Yeah, and now in this case, I'm going to be a little nice to you because it's not a fight yet. You've lost your initiative. You've gotten in position. You've torn the thing off. It's turned and attacked you as a reflex, and now it's going to be a fight. Because it's a fight right now, you can avoid the harm completely with your resistance roll. You're not going to reduce it. You're able to just get out of the way, presumably. So it's a prowess resist.
All you got to do is roll a 6.
5? Okay. All right. Pretty good.
It takes 1 stress.
Yep. 1.
Yep.
Wow. You're getting up there, Aldo. I have you at 7. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I have 2 stress left, and then another trauma.
Yep.
Come on in, Aldo. The water.
I think you backwards and pry the thing loose at the same time. So its fist just whiffs through the air, and the back plate clatters in the mud, and you're like a few feet back away from it.
Yeah, and I'm just hoping that Miss Cataby in particular sees me rip that plate off, and she understands like, oh, that's what he was doing the whole time. So shoot that part.
That's right. Just like bullseyeing womp rats back home.
Right, exactly. You gotta sandbag me. You sandbag me.
Rune, I think you're up in the batting order here if you want to take some action.
Cool. Can I, now that this like thing is exposed in the back?
Yeah.
Is it possible for Myth to attack it and try and like use his teeth to rip that shit apart?
Yes, that is extremely dangerous for Myth, but that is a thing it can do.
Okay.
It's just warning, and don't.
It's just what?
It's just the GM saying it's.
I mean, Myth only
Nothing
rolls
big.
crits, so who cares?
This will be the first time he doesn't when you say that. You know what? I believe in Myth.
Nice.
Yeah. I think we all believe in Myth.
I believe
in Myth. It's like I believe in Harvey Dent. How do I roll? Is it /R 3d6?
R6.
Okay.
And
5.
5. Okay, well, the good news is Myth attacks the thing. The bad news is that the downside happens too. It's both. If only Myth kept the 6 alive. So we see the shadowy dog appear at your side and then launch forward, leap through the air past Aldo. Miss Catabee, drawing a bead on the sensorium, sees the dog like through your sights, and its jaws latch onto the sensorium, and there's this huge discharge of energy.
Now, John, before you go too much further,
Yeah.
under leader, cohorts get +1 dice, but they also gain 1 armor.
They do gain 1 armor. Yes, they do.
And they fight beyond level 3 harm.
Right, they will keep fighting until they're destroyed. That is correct. So if you go to the crew sheet where Myth is as a cohort, there's a little armor box there which we can tick because of Carolys's leadership. Myth gets armor. So that will reduce the harm, essentially. Instead of Myth being eradicated by the magical device created to bind spirits to it, Myth will take level 3 harm instead of level 4. So
And can fight
yes, and can still fight. That's correct.
as well.
Wow.
So
Good job, Jeff.
we see this thing.
It was the first upgrade I took, and John was like, "What? This is useless right now." I was like, "John,
Just wait.
I have a feeling."
I have plans.
Week 14, episode 2.
The long con.
Yeah, so it jaws bite, and there's this electrical discharge through Myth's body. We see instead of the fiery shadow, it turns all bright blue, and lightning shoots out of it in every direction. Actually, I'm gonna make a fortune roll for the hull because this might be Detonationsville, or it might not be. Let's see. Cross your fingers, Aldo. And Careless too, I guess, actually.
No, just Aldo. Let's just do that.
Hull.
Do we want high or low? Is it our luck or its luck?
This is its like toughness against blowing up here. So high means it's good for the hull. Tier 4. Submit.
Ooh!
It's fine.
Wow.
It's fine.
Wow.
It triples in size, and its arms are.
Suddenly Iron Giant.
Yeah, so
Jesus.
the shadowy Myth like crackles to the ground and is all like sparking, and it's obviously like totally destroyed. Myth is like not totally destroyed, but as badly hurt as it's possible for a ghost dog to. Lightning crackling off of it. It hunches its back. Normally, under normal circumstances, without the leader special ability, Myth would stop fighting and would like dematerialize.
Mm-hmm.
But it bares its teeth and crouches, and lightning keeps crackling. The whole sensorium goes dark as all the energy gets expended. In this one explosion of lightning, the hull does not detonate, fortunately. And Miss Catabee, you got your sights on the sensorium that Zeke exposed, so you're watching it You see it slowly start to glow again, like very gradually. It's discharged its core power, and now its other systems are like slowly turning the sensorium back on. But it's not. It's just hanging there limp right now. It hasn't done anything yet.
Nice.
Does that mean it's my shot? Or?
I think it's your go before Careless starts us again on the next order of round of fighting.
Great. Let's shoot at that. Then.
You want to shoot the exposed thing? Yeah.
Do it.
It's you're back at controlled, right? The thing, it can't move. It's exposed to you. And electroplasmic ammo to the sensorium is great effect. Controlled and great effect.
Yep.
Shoot.
That's what I'm gonna do again. Same thing. Just not the 1s and 2s.
You got this.
Yes.
Yay.
Nice. Very nice. All right. Yeah. Well, do you want to describe it, Marcus? You destroyed this thing. What's it look like?
What happens when it gets destroyed?
Yeah. Well, you shoot the sensorium anyway. You destroy that part of it.
I mean, I suppose that it is a little bit of a fireworks show, right? But it's like if you ever tied 1,000 sparklers together, and then lit them, and you know how it's this gradual like burn to the brightest light, and then it just is gone, and it's just like a mass of fucking smoking nothing.
Nice.
I think it's a bit like that.
I love it. Yeah, I think what that makes me think of, that bright sparkler burning, it's like a cutter, like a cutting torch or something almost. I think part of that heat gets arced out in this narrow sort of burning beam, and so the whole, I think it slides apart. Its torso like gets seared in half, and the top of the torso like shunk falls down into the mud, and the legs topple sideways.
There you go.
Yeah, awesome. Nice shot.
Thank you.
And so yeah, the camera is on that shot, and we see the sensorium shatter. This rare and amazing, perfectly calibrated magic item just destroyed, whole parts apart, and the splitting of the torso reveals Careless Firm and the Spirit Warden like in this like duel.
Awesome.
Careless, I think we have time for this roll, I think, before our break. So
roll
Spirit Warden, it's toe to toe. You are, let's see. You are risky, limited effect.
But I pushed, so standard.
So standard, right? Because of your not to be trifled with. Oh no, sorry. That's because normally you're 0. Yeah, that's making you limited.
Okay.
Yeah, risky limited. If you want to go desperate and standard, you can.
Do I want to?
Yeah, and so let me describe the desperate so you see what you're risking. So the Spirit Warden, it tosses its pistol aside as it's like 1v1ing you, and you see it like make this magical gesture with its offhand, and you hear it whispering under its mask, doing something magical. You can press him and try to get involved there, or you can, or not. You can try to keep your distance and fight a little more defensively.
I've never passed up a desperate. I ain't saying it's smart.
It's not super smart exposing yourself,
No.
But you get a bonus die.
So limited.
Desperate. It's risky limited. It'll be desperate standard.
A desperate standard. Okay.
Yep, and you get your bonus die from Daredevil.
Crit.
Oh shit. That is when you need it. That is what you needed. Very nice.
Does it kill him?
Oh man.
It does not.
Does it do severe harm?
It does. But with a crit, you can decide. Do you want to do more harm right now, or do you want to stop the Spirit Warden from casting magic? further magic.
With a crit, I don't get to damage him and stop him.
No, you get to damage him. That's on the table. But with your extra effect, you want to hurt him more than
No,
normal?
just stop him.
You want to stop him? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so he has an item. He has he's clutching it in his palm, and as he turns to do whatever magical thing he's about to do, you can flick your sword out, snap the item out of his hand so it goes flying, and then stab him.
Yeah, I think I do a flick out, knock the item out or whatever, and then like reverse grip, and then when I return with the sword, it just kind of slashes through his other bicep.
Nice. Mark his farm here. Yeah, so he's like halfway gone, mechanically speaking. And he, or they, you don't know their sex, but
Right.
Winces under the mask. And takes a step back and then looks around to kind of take stock of the situation. You can see the wheels are turning like, this is that group of people that have been kinds of horrible shit to everyone who opposes them. Maybe I chose the wrong career. Maybe
I should have been a baker.
maybe this isn't the situation. Maybe I don't need to die here.
Moment. I've made a horrible mistake.
Yeah. And just there's so many times when there's like a threat, and then you guys you nail your crits and sixes, and we don't see it. So I will say this time, and like he had this thing in his hand, and he was starting to do something. And Rune, you actually feel the spirit bottle with flint inside it on your belt. You feel it like surge with power and start to move. As if he was like pulling on Flint's spirit. And then when Careless flicks the item out of his hand like that, it stops. So Flint's goes
Now
to...
that item is on the ground where, I don't know, just anybody could pick it up.
Perhaps he could.
He does like take
No,
things.
not he.
It's time to screw YouTube again.
Let's do it.
I'm going to roll for the Spirit Warden's morale when we come back.
All right, good. That's the end of hour 2, but we're just halfway through. We got 2 more to go. The action will continue right after this very quick commercial break. Thanks for joining us for Blades. We'll be right back.